Hi YouTube. So I'm gonna finish my little video from yesterday. This will be part 2 to my intro. We were talking about how I had met my twin, and we were going for a ride on his Harley, which I will be sure to post pictures of. Harley Quinn, her name was. She's no longer with us. She has a new owner now, which was devastating to me, but due to some childhood traumas, I had some severe PTSD surrounding Harley Davidsons in particular and motorcycles in general. And so I was getting ready to try and overcome that fear and go for a ride with Molly and Stony and my twin. Molly was going to ride with Stony on his bike, and I would be riding with my lovely twin. And you know, it's always awkward being the passenger on a motorcycle because you essentially have your crotch and your breast like just pushed up against this person, and if you hardly know them, that's kind of I mean, I don't know, I didn't want to get too close up on him because I didn't want to give the wrong impression, but at the same time I didn't have a seat or anything to lean up against. I literally sat on a divot in between his seat and the back fender. And regardless of how uncomfortable it was fabulous every single time. Anyway, so I'm there on his bike. I'm terrified, but at the same time so excited. And we go for a ride. And I can't even really describe to you guys the feeling I had being close to him. It was I guess the only way that I can describe it is probably extraordinary. I've never felt like that, being close to someone before. And that was just odd to me, that it felt so spectacular. But we were with a group of people, and so of course I was socializing and really trying not to look like a crazy person because I was so nervous being on a bike and not having been on one since I was younger, and having all those negative feelings associated with it. I just had a lot going through my head. So that night we got back from our ride, and we were gonna run through Taco Bell to go get everyone Taco Bell. And I rode with him in his car, and the first discussion that we ever had was incredibly deep. We were discussing passion and... Hold on. We'll let this ambulance go by. Okay. We were talking about passion and intensity, and how you can have, well, his argument was you can't have intensity without passion, and you can't have passion without intensity. And I was telling him that I disagreed, because I felt like you could have passion without intensity. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. We had this long conversation, right? And he was telling me about intensity, and I used the example of kissing someone. You don't have to, you know, swallow someone's face. It can be like a no tongue, not even open mouth kiss. And it can be intense. Or it can be passionate but not intense. And he decided right then and there that that would be a good time to prove to me that you cannot have passion without intensity. And he said, he leaned over to me as I was in the passenger seat, and he said, "Come here." And I did. And he kissed me, and it was the most amazing first kiss. I mean, it was like we had been kissing each other for thousands of years. There was no awkward, where am I going to put my mouth and my nose and my face, which, I mean, we had it down like that. It was like we had been kissing forever. So, I may or may not have made a couple comments afterwards that I'm not willing to share on YouTube, but I was like enamored by this man. He reached into my chest at that point and pulled my heart out and was like holding it in the palm of his hand, and just hasn't put it back in my chest since. But I was blown away. And still, I still hadn't gotten this all-encompassing feeling of, oh, for sure this is different than everything else. So once we got back from Taco Bell, we decided we wanted to go on a ride on the bike, just the two of us. We didn't want anyone coming along. We were going to go to dinner. And so we got on the bike and we rode. And it was April at this point, and it was kind of chilly outside. And he had this blue zip-up hoodie on,